Welcome to the Real Estate Espresso Podcast, your morning shot of what's new in the world of real estate investing. I'm your host, Victor Menashe. Today's show is about a new type of nomadic worker. But first, if you're loving what you hear on the Real Estate Espresso Podcast, go out and tell 2 friends today. Why keep all this goodness to yourself? Spread the love around. The Real Estate Espresso Podcast is available on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, CastBox, Google Podcasts, Amazon Alexa. It's on 14 platforms in all. On today's show, we're talking about a new type of nomadic worker. When we talk about nomadic workers, it conjures up an image of a hipster 20-something in shorts and t-shirt drinking a cappuccino from an internet cafe in Fiji. They're just living the lifestyle. Well, I'm not talking about these people. There's entirely another type of nomadic worker focused on the construction industry. These people travel around the country and work on major construction projects. Some of them specialize in heavy earth-moving equipment. Some are welders, pipe fitters, electricians, and truck drivers. In addition to having a high-paying job, they also get a daily housing allowance. And the construction companies understand that they're coming only for a temporary assignment. In areas where there are large industrial megaprojects under construction, hotels can be surprisingly expensive and in short supply. The daily housing allowance is not usually enough to cover the cost of a hotel or even a short-term furnished rental, if it's even available. These nomadic workers prefer to purchase an RV and use their daily allowance towards a monthly payment on an RV. It's a good deal for the construction workers because the housing allowance will cover more than their daily cost of an RV site and their monthly payment. The construction worker puts a few extra dollars in their pocket at the end of each month. At the end of their contract, they have an RV that they own outright. And the typical worker has a large pickup truck with double rear tires and a 5th-wheel trailer. These are large 40-foot long trailers with 2 air conditioning units and several pop-out sections. Inside, they're large and they're comfortable. RV parks that focus on this segment of nomadic workers are being constructed around the country near areas where there are large infrastructure projects that span multiple years. They're a much better solution to addressing temporary workforce housing needs than building permanent structures. If these projects have a construction lifespan of 5 years or 10 years, it's often feasible to convert these RV parks into mobile home parks for the long term. In those cases, you may experience a period of time when the RV park contains a mixture of both mobile homes and workforce RVs. Over the past year, our team has just completed construction on a 199-unit RV park in southwest Louisiana, specifically in support of the tens of billions of dollars of natural gas, petrochemical, and seaport expansion projects that are currently underway along the Gulf Coast. Under these market conditions, all of the RV parks within a 45-minute drive of the construction projects are at capacity. Generally speaking, these projects require tens of thousands of workers. The workers are going to be on the job for anywhere from a few months to a few years before they move on to their next project. Their needs are very different from your typical recreational RV park. They don't pay a daily rate, they're looking for a monthly rate, and the amenities needed are limited. They needed good laundry service, ample power to run their air conditioning, and top-notch internet service. You're not there for the swimming pool or the playground. Those types of amenities don't matter at all. The items that matter the most are number 1, location, number 2, sufficient power, and number 3, great internet. I want to contrast these projects with the types of workers that we see in the world of oil and gas exploration. When you're drilling oil wells, the staff required for that project are only in place for a few months before moving on to the next location. In those cases, it doesn't make sense to build permanent RV sites. The workers are not on location long enough to warrant the investment. Many investors got burned in places like North Dakota during the shale oil boom of 2012 and 2013. It had strong revenues for a while, but it was only for a short period of time before it all dried up. It's important to plan your project life cycle carefully. You want nomadic workers, not nomadic projects. There's a difference. The major infrastructure projects that span multiple years have large needs for temporary workforce housing, and our RV park is anticipated to achieve 100% return on investment within 3 years from the cash flow of the business. In order to achieve that, you've got to have a very strong revenue stream, and you need to contain the cost of developing the park within a tight envelope. The idea here is to pay close attention to solving business problems. In this case, we're solving the problems for some very large petrochemical mega projects. As you're thinking about that, ask yourself, what other business problems could you solve through real estate? Have an awesome day. Make some great things happen. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.